Hi again, everyone. I'm Jenna Payne, and I'm the Federal Program Manager for the Innovations in Nuclear Energy R&D Student Competition. This was an opportunity that was previously managed under the Office of Nuclear Fuel Cycle and Supply Chain. So it's our team's second year managing the competition. Drew is going to provide a quick overview of the program, so I'll hand things over to him, but we're looking forward to another successful year of this important program. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Jenna. I'll point out that this is not directly applicable to most faculty members, but the reason why we're presenting it here is it's really important for this program's success to have your support and to guide your students that are publishing work from CINR projects or maybe other projects that are related to the nuclear R&D space that aren't supported by CINR and EUP projects to submit here, be recognized and rewarded for their research contributions as students. And so what I'll do is run through these slides. Tyler Newitt at the Integration Office leads this program. He is just got hot off of the Indy 500, went to that, and so I'm covering for him today. But he'll be the one to ask questions too if there are any questions about this program that are above my basic knowledge. So from a date standpoint, to understand when this program runs, the request for applications is typically released in October. Applications are due at the end of November, and we announce these awards in March of the next year so that the opportunity to present their research over the course of the student A&S meeting, winter A&S meeting, maybe even summer A&S meeting can be available. So as Jenna mentioned, the Innovations in Nuclear Energy R&D Student Competition is NE's program to recognize and award published graduate and undergraduate student research. It's designed to recognize those contributions, demonstrate the commitment of the Office of Nuclear Energy to higher education in these disciplines, and support communication among students in the U.S. Department of Energy in regard to these research outcomes. This competition has been renamed. It was previously named the Innovations in Nuclear Technology R&D Awards Program and has been renamed. It's the same program, but it will be under those two names and has a very similar structure to the program in the past. The student competition is composed of 5 different sub-competitions, and I'll go through each of these. I'll go through some categories of different research areas that students can apply to. There is an open competition award of excellence. This is the top rated paper out of each of those individual categories that I'll go over. It's graduate and undergraduate students are eligible to win that open competition award. After that, there's 4 other competitions that the papers are also eligible for. A competition for graduate students attending minority serving institutions or belonging to an underserved community. Open competition awards, which are across all of these areas, some of the highest rated or most highly recognized open competition papers. Then we have the competition for undergraduates, both students attending minority serving institutions or from an underserved community, and the general undergraduate competition. So applicants will submit one paper, one application package that will be considered in multiple of these categories. And these are ranked in order of prestige or by the award package value overall, which we'll discuss a little bit later. So with the 5 competitions being available, each application will be evaluated in any competition in which it qualifies. Students can submit more than one paper to the competition, but they can only be awarded one award as part of the competition. And awards vary according to the award level. Some awards include travel support, an honoraria, and other things like that to support presentations at national conferences, online presentations, or things like presenting at the American Nuclear Society winter meeting. And As a reminder, the Department of Energy or Patel Energy Alliance, who runs the request for applications, is not obligated to make any award as a result of the announcement. So let's go over the topic areas. These are subject to change, so please pay attention as you socialize this opportunity with your students. But these are the 6 categories that we have identified as of now for the competition. Those are reactor development plan optimization, flexible energy systems, fuel cycle technologies, spent nuclear fuel disposition, nuclear engineering, and energy policy and social sciences. And I'd like to remind everybody that of the relevant disciplines for NE. That excludes medical physics, nuclear fusion, nuclear forensics, and environmental management. So if there's papers that your students are writing that are really cross-cutting in the nuclear energy space and maybe forensics as well, or maybe fusion and fission related, the student needs to make a strong argument about why it really is in the NE mission space for us to be able to support and recognize that award, or that publication, excuse me. Let me go over the 5 competitions really quickly in a little bit more detail. The Open Competition Award of Excellence is, we're estimating there'll be 6 award packages, which include a $3,500 honorarium and travel and conference opportunities. And the award recipients for this competition and the next competition I'll talk about have an opportunity to present their research at the winter A&S meeting. There's a dedicated session specifically for this competition to present at that meeting. The second one is the graduate student competition for MSIs or those from an underserved community. Also, award packages with the $3,500 honorarium and travel and conference support. Students that apply for this competition must be attending a minority serving institution or belong to an underserved community. Open competition awards are 6 at-large award packages that include a $2,500 honorarium, and travel and conference opportunities may accompany the award. The undergraduate competitions, both the MSI and the general undergraduate student competitions, will be awarded up to 5 undergraduate students, which include award packages of a $1,500 honorarium, and travel and conference opportunities may also accompany this award. And similar to the others, the students must be attending an MSI or belong to an underserved community for that category, or for the general undergraduate category. They just have to qualify as an undergraduate undergraduate student, which is described in detail in the request for applications. So from a travel and conference opportunity standpoint, the details about potential travel and conference opportunities for each group will be provided to award recipients upon selection. And the intention, as I mentioned, is the Award of Excellence and MSI graduate winners would have an opportunity to present at a dedicated session at the A&S winter meeting. And we're looking into several other types of opportunities where students may be able to present their current publication and their ongoing research in that area. So there are some eligibility restrictions. Applicants must be the first author or principal student author on a submitted publication. Unless that student's an undergraduate, we're altering the rules a little bit for undergraduates, and that an undergraduate, as long as they're listed as an author on the paper, can submit an application. We understand that it's challenging and sometimes rare to have a primary undergraduate or a principal undergraduate student author. And so as long as there's a substantial contribution by the undergraduate student to that publication, we'll be accepting both first authors, principal student authors, or secondary authors if they're an undergraduate student. Applicants must be undergraduates or graduate students, and that is defined as a student who has not yet completed their bachelor's degree when the publication was submitted for publication or presentation. Applicants must be studying in nuclear energy relevant disciplines, and they must submit an online application form and a journal publication that supports that research that was published between December 2022 and November 2023. Applicants must be a student at the time of publication. at the time the publication was submitted and must be a student at the time of application. And the applicant should be part of that research program that was completed no longer than 24 months before the publication was submitted. There's some other items here that are important from an eligibility standpoint. Applicants who have been awarded previous Innovation Student Competition Awards are eligible for additional awards under the following conditions. Each applicant can only win one award each year, and undergraduates are eligible to compete for a non-undergraduate category in future years as they go to graduate school or move on from their undergraduate studies. There is some information in the application form that will be important for the student to fill out if they were already awarded, and how this research and this publication differ from the publication that they were awarded a previous student competition award for. And last but not least, applicants must be U.S. citizens or legal permanent residents to apply. From a review and selection process standpoint, the publications and the application packages are reviewed by a panel of nuclear energy experts, faculty members in the following manner. All eligible publications are evaluated for the Open Competition Award of Excellence, and then publications that don't receive that Award of Excellence will be evaluated in other categories where they qualify. This is the evaluation criteria. It's changed slightly from previous years. 45% of that score is on the publication's importance, novelty, impact, and the questions answered in that publication. The other categories include communication skills, how skilled the student was in communicating and disseminating research results in the publication, and their skill and writing clarity in the application form itself. 25% is attributed to the applicant's role in the research, and the quality of the journal or conference accounts for 15% of the overall score. There are some award conditions. When we say student competition award, what we mean by that is there's an official award letter and a certificate, honorarium to present their research, and then possible travel support to present their awarded research, along with displaying that awardee's picture and awarded publication on the nup.gov website as a piece of history as they go on with their student and then professional careers. Awardees will be notified of when they'll need to submit ANS winter meeting publications or other things for to meet those deadlines to make sure that these publications get submitted to the winter meeting, and the follow-on research from that publication is discussed there as well. And students will accept or decline the award within 14 days of notification. And there's some other pieces and parts here about things that awardees will need to do to make sure that we can get them the entirety of their award. And with that is our student paper competition award. And I do want to encourage everybody, as you think through this and think about the publications that you're working on with your graduate students, that you're working on with maybe some of your exceptional undergraduate students, that you loop them into this opportunity. It is a good way to recognize the research, but is also a really good way to support the professional development of your students, getting to professional society meetings, and getting up and presenting their research. So with that, I'll open up for questions, and here we go.
Drew, we have a question here, and it says, are the students in physics carrying out nuclear energy materials eligible?
So I will say there are some of these areas that are cross-cutting, right? Like physics students. So what I would say is it really depends on the research that's being done. If it has applicability to the nuclear energy space, if the publication and the way that the student has presented that in their application, because the application is the publication itself, along with a template that prompts the student for a couple of pieces of information about how they're involved in the research, how that research is going to be applied, if it's more fundamental, those types of things. If it has those ties to the nuclear energy space, then absolutely. We recognize that there's physics, there's potential, detectors or things that could be related to both forensics and the, nuclear energy space. There's a lot of those cross-cutting type things, and so it's just got to be a really clear distinction from the student if it isn't a clear and logical fit when you're thinking about how it's actually applied into the nuclear energy arena. I hope that clarifies it. And if there's questions either from you or from your students, please reach out. We don't want a student, feeling like they put a lot of time and effort into this without being considered fully, because it's really not an opportunity that fits well with their research.